We are back with everyone's favorite place to be on this Wednesday pitch practice.
The
The
show.
What is going on, everyone? Glad to see you. We are going live on all of our different channel streaming. Give us a hashtag where you're watching from. Give us a hashtag right down in the comments because we've got a really great conversation that we're going to be talking about today, and we want you to be involved in it. What's going on, Brandon?
I'm here, man. We missed last week. We
Oh,
both forgot it was Wednesday night, and like the Wednesday came and gone, and we messaged each other Thursday. It was like, yesterday was Wednesday, wasn't it? It's like, yeah, it was. It was Wednesday, and we completely spaced. We were out of the rhythm, man. You had your deals going on, weather, and I had some stuff going on too. I was working on, and just couldn't sync up, and got out of the rhythm. And you miss 1 or 2 weeks, and it's like
it's
you
it's
gotta
getting
you gotta start back over again.
getting back into the rhythm, and it's so easy to when it's routine and you're doing it week after week, it becomes like just normal everyday thing. But if you lay off for a little while, it's like you gotta give it that extra push to get back in there. But hey, we're here.
Yeah,
And
that makes me think. It makes me think about this one quip that I heard from Dan Kennedy when it comes to going to church, because he was talking about um, this church marketing book. Shoot, what is it? Purpose driven church.
okay.
Because that's basically lead magnet for pastors to get people into the marketing system to draw more people to the church. And he said, if somebody misses 3 weeks in a row, um, you pretty much lost them. Like, they're not coming back.
Oh, you mean for church?
Yeah. So this is our Wednesday night church.
Yeah.
It's our
We're not
marketing church.
not saying that you can't come back, but yeah, chances are. I've visited churches once and then not gone back till after some time. So yeah, church is always going to, I don't know, maybe sometimes you feel like church is always going to be there. And then sometimes you go when it's most, I won't say advantageous to you, but maybe when you need it the most.
Hmm. For your fair weather Christian friends.
Right. But hey, oh man, we've got an interesting talk today, and I want to hear all about what you went, what you attended over this past weekend, because today's conversation is about live events. First
Yep,
thing,
live
yeah,
events. What we're
yeah,
doing right now is a live event. It's a quote unquote dramatic demonstration. Ours is 100% digital at this
uh-huh.
point in time, but we may end up taking this on the road. Who knows
Yeah,
what comes next?
we have taken it on the
We
road.
have taken it on the road, but it was still in a digital setting. We just changed locations, right? But anyway, yeah.
Right.
So what I went to was an event called Life Surge, or it was a Life Surge event, and it is. I had no clue what it was at the time. I saw an ad. It had a great picture with it. It had a photo of Ed Milet in it, and who else? Marcus Lemonis and Nick
Vujicic.
Nick
Vujicic.
Vujicic. I
Yeah.
can't say his name right.
Do, do you
So
remember that we saw him before?
did we see Nick? No, it was Son of Stato is the other guy with.
Oh, that's right. You're right. That was Anthony Santonis. Yeah, that name.
Yes, the other guy with no limbs.
Yeah,
So yeah, so I had no clue what the event was. I committed early to it though. I think I ended up buying the tickets at the beginning of the summer because I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go get a chance to get my picture taken with Mr. Ed Milet, and I bought the package to do that. And Ed is pretty short in real life. Um, But the other reason why I went to it was because I know the power of live events and what they can kind of bring to you as far as being in a large group of like-minded people, and the networking chances and things like that. And you're wearing a hat, 10x there. That every year they put on this massive conference live event, 4 day event of networking and hearing motivational speakers and watching people sell from stage. So my whole thing, being a funnel hacker is just funnel hacking these live events, because eventually down the road, I know this is what I'll have to get into to, grow what I'm trying to grow. So saw the ad, bought the Primo ticket, and that way I can sit with the Primo people, because your network is your net worth, right? So you rub elbows with the right people. When you get in the right rooms, the right things can happen. But I had no clue what the event was about, right? So I just saw LifeSurge. And after I bought the ticket, I was like, I'm just there just to get a picture with Ed. That's really the whole reason for going in to hear him speak again. But I got there and I knew they were selling something, because every live event, they're going to sell something. Even though it was a paid ticket, right? You're paying to get sold to. But that doesn't take away from the value that they give you and teach you there at the event, because you also have to pay all the speakers and all that kind of stuff. So it turns out LifeSurge is a Christian entrepreneurial deal, is the best way I can put it, to where they're looking to educate the masses on two things when it comes to investing: real estate and stock markets, right? And so, like ClickFunnels has their live events, their deal is backed by a software as a service, as well as high ticket coaching. But they have niched down into the Christian entrepreneur space, and everything is kind of Bible based as far as building a business. Kind of like one of our mentors. Why is the guy's name? Myron Golden. Myron Golden's big with building a business based on Bible principles, and that's the same principles that LifeSurge is building their business principles on. And in going to the event, I knew they were going to sell something, but the way they had it set up was really good, in the sense that you didn't even know you were getting sold to until about halfway through the actual sales pitch. And the structure was, they had a worship session, the first thing, to kind of get the blood flowing. They had a praise and worship band and all that kind of stuff there. 2 motivational speakers come up, and then the third speaker right before lunch was the first pitch for the software. Interesting pitch. I've been kind of interested in investment and learning how to invest, things like that. I'm following a couple of people in the ClickFunnels world, watching what they do, plus the Nigerian brothers. I traded options a couple times and have kind of broken even with it and just quit messing with it. But software looked interesting. You got 30-day free trial. It was like, heck, why not? And they pitched a 3-day class to go with it. $97. I was like, all right, no brainer. 3 days, learn something, move on with your life, right? And just continue down the process of funnel hacking the deal. Second half of the show was pretty much the same thing: praise and worship, 2 speakers, pitch for real estate software. But they did it in a way just like it is spelled out in this book right here. They had their target audience. Target audience were Christian entrepreneurs. They knew that they needed to build a movement behind it, being faith-based. So there's the faith-based movement behind it, to then use the perfect webinar, so to speak, or the perfect sell from stage in each one of the speeches there, because everybody told their backstory, right? And the one thing that I can take from that, and I'm just kind of wrap it up here for at least this part of the show, is I feel the reason why I'm not as successful as the people that are on stage is because I never did drugs, and I've never been dirt poor broke.
That is so funny. That's so funny. That's so funny.
I mean, that's why I haven't won yet. I haven't done any drugs, and I've never been dirt poor broke in my adult life. As a kid, yes, which is my motivation to not be there, right? But as far as like completely losing it all, living out of my Bronco, I'm not there yet, and I haven't been there yet. So,
That's so funny.
um,
I
yeah,
have I have a friend that is does Herbalife, and she's gone to one of those, those big meetings, and she said the same thing. She said, "You know what? I'll never be great because everybody up there has just been through something bad." Everybody, it's like there's always that story of hitting rock bottom, and rock
yeah,
bottom is typically where they go to turn things around, and it's like, voila! I was like almost.
yeah, yep, exactly. That honestly was literally every story that was told up there. I mean, when I heard Ed speak, he spoke in the second half of the show because he got the pictures first and shook his hand. He was like, "Hey, glad to finally meet you in person. Heard you speak a couple years ago at Funnel Hacking Live." He was like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah." He was like, "Look forward to hearing you speak again." I was like, "Yeah, it's pretty much the same talk, a little bit different, but same talk." And I was like, "Okay, we'll see." And it was his signature speech, right? And that's the key to to the speaker gig, right? You have your one signature talk, and if you attended um, the 10x Growth Con, that's all they talked about. At least on the digital side of it was, and that's where they was pitching 10x stages to have that one signature talk. I got a flying around in here. That
but
one signature talk to propel you to the next stage.
But I'm going to tell you that you don't necessarily have to hit rock bottom to have that story, and I'm going to tell you why. And I think I've mentioned this to you before, and I've said this before, because think about Grant Cardone's story, and he says, "I was flat broke. I only had $1 million in my account."
No, no, no,
Yes,
no. He didn't start
yes,
off like that. He
yes.
didn't start off like that.
No,
He was a drug addict, okay?
that
And
was
he hit
way back
rock
in his
bottom and got
twenties. Way
he
back in his 20s.
he was a drug addict.
He was doing some drugs. He hadn't.
He
I don't think he really reached rock bottom. Where I don't think he had a story where he was about to get kicked out of his house or anything like that.
he didn't
He
have a house. He barely had anything. He was a literal drug addict and he got beat up and that's what turned him around. That's his story.
So there you go. All you got to do is get beat up.
No. I don't like pain, and that could be my problem too. Is because I don't like pain and deal with it well. And Ed's talked about the ones that saw the success or achieve the success are able to deal with the pain and use it to fuel them moving forward. Sure, there's been a lot of pain in my life growing up, and I haven't had things and lost things along the way, but I never took it in I never took it serious. I guess I just kind of brushed it aside and moved on with it.
Well, when it comes to those stories, I would argue that it's all about how you tell that story, because it's all about how you describe it. And they tend to seem make it in the most dramatic terms, using visual words and language that makes you get into the story. I think it's really about communication, and I think you just have to dig deep and find your comeback story. But that's awesome. That's awesome. But we're talking about live events, right? And I I think about just live events, right? And I attended, I think I would say, I don't, okay, so I'm gonna go way back to probably when I was still in college. And I used to see these commercials or something, hear it on the radio, and it was these conferences that were happening at hotels for 2 days only. It was funny because back then you could attend these events for free, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if you've ever attended one of those hotel meetings where it seemed like they would go from city to city, and they would rent these rooms in the hotel, and you would go in there and you would sit down and they'd give you a free gift, right,
Mm-hmm.
for attending. And then but it was always some type of sales pitch.
Mm-hmm.
I'd gone, and I think one time I had gone and I'd been sold a internet marketing package where you get in, you pay $100 and you get one package, but it was basically selling from the stage,
Mm-hmm.
right? And I think it's sort of those types of live events. I think they're still held that way because I think I still hear on the radio sometimes where they will really, they'll mark it out. They'll say, Ohio, Ohio, Cincinnati, we're in town for 2 weekends. This is your exclusive opportunity to get in the latest real estate craze or
Mm-hmm.
the latest stock market trading craze. I think these type of new events are uh, an evolution of that same type of live event that used to be see so frequently. Except now they're making you pay to go to them and sell something to you.
Yeah, because they're putting a little bit more dramatic effect to it. They're bigger productions. They're bringing in A-list speakers,
Yeah.
uh, A-list in this in certain circles, right? If you know what circles that you want to, be in and be next to, right, from the motivational side. Because I mean, I don't think Marcus Lemonis, as big as he is with Camping World and the Profit TV show, that he's going to do some ho hum rinky dink. Uh, Saturday show, right? I mean, I'm sure he demands pretty decent sized speaking fees to go to an event. Same thing with Ed Milet, with one of the number one rated podcasts uh, on any podcast network, right? So, I mean, these are not B and C list speakers. These are people that have weight behind their names, right? So,
Mm.
yeah, so it's an evolution. So you're going to have to pay to play to get in there. Plus, they understand that there is the power of the network, and if they're bringing in all these people to this one area, they see the value in being able to rub elbows with certain people. And I mean, I had a chance to sit right next to somebody who is on a first name basis with Russell Brunson out of all the people that I could sit next to, right, in their mastermind. So, it's worth the ticket and the price if you are in any type of business to go to these types of events. You don't have to buy what they're pitching and selling, but just being in the same room with like-minded people, having the chance to network is definitely worth the ticket.
Right, right. So with the live events, it's like, okay, so what is the ROI? What's the return on your investment of spending whatever that cost is to actually attend these events? Because I know some people might say to themselves, you know what? You're looking at I don't know, maybe you're looking at your Instagram feed, you're looking at your Twitter, or I'm sorry, X feed, or you're looking at your social media feed, and these ads are coming up and you're seeing them out there probably pretty frequently. Some are online and virtual, and then some are actually in person, like the one that you attended. For me, I those types of events, I attended those probably back in my 20s. I'd never really attended one of the newer type of live events where you're getting to see A-list speakers up on stage. But I had always had a goal or a dream to see Tony Robbins in a live
Mm-hmm.
event. In a live event, he's one of the first persons that I remember seeing that held this, but his was more like a multi-day event, and I
Yeah,
think it was what was he has a couple of Date with Destiny or something like that,
and then
and it was
unleash the power within.
yeah, yeah, and the Date with Destiny. at the time, I never thought I'd be able to afford to actually go to one of those. And I think about what made me want to go. What was my ROI? And I think for me, the ROI is the information, the networking, meaning just the connections that you make, and also the transformation that you can have from sitting in a room. It's crazy, right? Have you ever experienced that before, Brandon?
Yeah, I mean, when you're in a room hearing somebody's story and becoming emotionally connected, like it's drawing everything out of you. Like when I heard Ed speak the first time Funnel Hacking Live, I'm not gonna lie, I cried. Heard the same exact story, cried again, and I heard the same story, and there's still a tear rolling down my eye because I mean I felt for the guy. You know, he, especially when it came to like a father connection, um, because I have a connection to, you know, a similar type of situation and story, right? So it's just being connected on that level draws the emotions out. And then with the Tony Robbins deal, just like you, I mean, I heard of the guy, saw him on TV, you know, saw him in the movie Shallow Hal or whatever, and that was kind of, I think that was my first experience of, you know, figuring out who Tony Robbins was, right? And then to see him live at Funnel Hacking Live 3 years ago was like world and experience changing, right? To just be in that energy that he kind of gave off. It was exhausting. 8 hours of Tony Robbins was absolutely exhausting. I don't know if I could ever do 3 days with him because the one day was plenty.
That's crazy. An entire 8 hours with just him, right?
Yeah.
And that's he does multi days like that.
Yeah. Crazy. But everything ties to though the framework that they put on for the demonstration to get the end result for what you know these people want to sell. And at the first deal, massive table rush.
What do
They
you
had
mean? What do you mean the first deal? What do you
so
mean?
like the first pitch was for investment software. So it gave
Oh,
you
okay.
this.
So you're saying at your conference this past weekend,
Yep.
they their first pitch.
First
Okay.
pitch. The guy was talking about, you know, how he learned this information and he had to pay $3,000 for it. And today, you know, we could sell it for $997, but you know what? For you guys today, it's $97. I'm like, okay. So that, I mean, he did the stack and close, right? But it really wasn't the right stack and close, right? He could have done it better, structured it better, but he did what they all typically do, right? Starts with some godly price up here, bring it down a little bit, kind of dangle the carrot, tease you, and then drop it to the floor. And it was like made it an absolute no-brainer offer. It's like $97 for an additional 3-day master class to learn this software and then have a tool in your toolbox to, you know, start playing around in the stock market, you know, and learn it, right?
Okay.
So massive table rush first time around. Second time around wasn't really as good of a table rush, primarily because everybody was already exhausted. They already had lunch and they already bought, right? So that excitement, that adrenaline of buying something was gone until they bundled it with the first offer.
Yeah.
It's like if you bought the first offer, you just come up, sign up, and you get the second offer, and you know you get another 3-day masterclass with the real estate offer. So
I know you've heard the story that Russell Brunson tells about how he discovered the how he discovered the perfect webinar. And there was this he had went to present, and then he went to sell. It was selling on stage, and then no one went to the back.
yeah.
And remember, he said he was so embarrassed. He went to the hotel room and he didn't come out for the rest of the whole 3 days.
Yep. Ate Haagen-Dazs and lied in bed and cried.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. I can imagine that must be that. So you were talking about that second pitch and no one going to the back with no table rush. But there are, I'm just curious, what type of tactics did you see on stage there? I'll give you an example of a tactic that Russell Brunson, I've seen him do it live and in person, but it's that whole when you go to the back, there's a t-shirt waiting for you back there. Or when you sign up, hold your phone up and come back and sit down. That is, that's a technique. And
No real call out technique that you did it. They gave you a little swag bag that had a hat in it, and then the card to sign up for the software. I haven't signed up for the software yet, but
so they gave that to people who signed up.
yep, little bag with a hat.
There you go. The key that I've seen Russell do is he says, I want you to put it on. And then you come back and sit down, and you can see the people that have bought and the people that haven't bought. And it
Mm-hmm.
kind of puts a little pressure on the people that haven't bought, especially when you see a row of people around you with the shirt on, or the click funnels or the funnel hacking shirt, or even the hat that you bought, and then you're sitting there and people are kind of looking at you like you didn't buy. Sort of that that FOMO.
Yep, the FOMO, the fear of missing out. I was front center first row, so I really didn't look behind me too much after the fact. So I don't know how many people bought, but I know the table in front of me was absolutely jam packed. So I mean, they did a phenomenal job in the morning as far as getting people to sell. Second half of the day, people were tired. Like I said, the adrenaline was gone when it comes to whipping out the credit card. It gets heavier, the second time around. But when he said if you already bought one, you get them both. I didn't take up the second offer because I didn't want to waste it. I wouldn't say waste, but didn't want to use another weekend that I may have to go travel down to Cincinnati to sit in a class. So the dates just didn't work out.
So it was all about real estate. So you're going to become a realtor now, or you're going to buy?
No, no, I'm not getting in the real estate game. Like I said, learning the stock market deal, especially with the crash that happened on Monday, figure out how to leverage that when everything's going down to still be able to win, that type of stuff. So,
Yeah, there's always money to be made there, whether it's going up or down. It's just being able to know when, being able to make the right move at the right time. And yeah, it's funny. I think it's funny. I was talking to a friend a week ago, just talking about that stock market stuff. And he was telling me, he was like, he said, yeah, he said, I'm inside this WhatsApp chat, and it's just every time they keep telling me about trades. And I was like, I get those same messages. You on WhatsApp?
yeah, I have WhatsApp. I get bombarded and spammed with a bunch of
Those,
Bitcoin crypto stuff. Yeah.
yeah, those like I'm thinking, is it the same group that I'm in? Because it'll typically say, okay, the trading is done for the day. For those that have won, contact so and so for your funds. I happen to think it's a scam.
Of
I
course.
I don't believe any bit of it. I don't believe there. I don't believe I rarely pay attention to it, but I have to turn off the alerts, right? Because otherwise your phone will just be buzzing constantly with these people in this what they call a financial group. But yeah, I think it's I don't believe it for one bit. I don't have you. Do you know anyone that actually has participated in those WhatsApp chats and is doing or learning trading or anything like that?
No, I mean, I remember joining, I don't know if it was WhatsApp, but it could have been Telegram or something like that. I ended up losing about $1,200 through this pyramid scheme during COVID when everything was going crazy with crypto called Forsage um, with Ethereum. And I was like, if I would have just bought the Ethereum and held it, I would have been in a better position than trying to mess around with this quote unquote marketing deal that turned out to be a pyramid scheme. God, sorry, man. I got this freaking fly that's rolling around my face.
Yeah, I actually saw it too.
It's annoying me. It's that time of year, fly season.
Oh yeah. Oh, it is. That's all year here. And right now we're going through the hottest week of the year. 100 plus. Feels
Mm.
feels like 110 plus. Yeah. Live events. So I think Funnel Hacking Live was really my first um when I think about it, because I can't remember. Yeah, I was completely in a I was undercover in the insurance world. So I don't think I don't think live events were really on my radar. Or were they? I'd have to think. I have to think.
My first one was 10x GrowthCon. That was 2020, right before everything hit the fan. So I'm 4 years into my whole live event deal, about ready to graduate from them, so to speak. I got my letter back from Funnel Hacking Live. I don't know where it's at, but I read it again, and I told myself if I haven't hit the milestones, like this one's my last one until I get some type of award, whether it's the Dream Car Award or the Two Comma Club. So, Mark, if you're not in Vegas in February, last time you're gonna see me live.
I'll be in Vegas. I'm gonna be in Vegas. You bet your bottom dollar I'm gonna be in Las Vegas. But it's not. Is it in February?
Yeah, February. Mm-hmm.
Okay, okay. You can bet your bottom dollar I will be in Las Vegas. I'm going to be at the virtual event here in a few weeks. A little
Mm-hmm.
bit. Yep.
Beginning of September, Labor Day week. Be rolling through. I'll be taking those days off work. I got some PTO saved up, so be taking those 3 days off. I'll be coming back from Florida that Monday on Labor Day. Gonna go hang out with the boys and donate my money to the fantasy football deal, and that's another live event, right? Fantasy football.
Oh, you doing your draft in person?
Yeah, we got the in-person draft finally this time, where everybody's getting together, first time in 10 years, roughly. So yeah, it'll be a good time.
Yes, yes. Um, I think if anyone out there is interested in the Funnel Hacking Live, you have a link, Brandon?
We don't get the affiliate links for Funnel Hacking Live, so you're just gonna have to go to funnelhackinglive.com and check it out. Sign up. The virtual is kind of like what he did with
Two
the
comma.
last time he did. Yeah, the Two Comma Club. So I think you're gonna watch it for free, and if you find value in it, you can pay for it later. I think that's the deal now for it. So you get the 3 days, or if you pay for it up front, you get the recordings right off the bat. So yeah, commit to the bit and sign up for it. It'll be pretty good for you. And it doesn't matter what kind of business you have. Like, these are the fundamental things that every business needs to do, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if you're B2B, B2C, B2C, B2B type deal, and do it all. These are the things that you need to do. And, and speaking of that, right? And so, like, this particular company, this live search company, again, software as a service, ClickFunnels, software as a service, and we're talking live events about it. It doesn't have to be, you don't have to, like, your business doesn't have to be a software as a service or a insurance person or marketing consultant type person to host a live event to get clients. Like, if you're a landscaper, roofer, plumber, electrician, you can host small live events at your local library or local hotel there that educates and informs people about issues and problems that they may typically have, and put on a mini show and demonstration to teach them how to fix common problems in the house, right? And that information will be valuable to them. And you're probably thinking, why would I teach them to fix their own problems? That's taking money out of my pocket. No, it's actually going to be putting more money in your pocket, because 9 out of 10 times they're probably going to screw it up and call you anyway. Two, they realize they need all these freaking tools to fix it anyway, and you already have them, so they're going to call you, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah,
three, people are inherently lazy and they realize the time value of money, and they're going to spend a couple dollars to save their time for you to come out and be the expert and fix their problem, right? So
mm-hmm.
live events for your business are key. And again, in fact, I just came from the county fair, which is why we were a little bit late today. Because again, forgot it was Wednesday, and I'm like, "Oh, my wife's like, it's Wednesday. You get your call." I was like, "Yeah." We were walking through the commercial building where everybody had their little booth set up and pitching stuff, and half of them were crap. But it's still a live event, and they're there to pitch. People walking by and to give a little dramatic demonstration with it. So there were roofers there, siders, plumbers, people selling Avon, the Tempur-Pedic mattress people, which is always my favorite to lay on those beds because they're super comfy, and people selling embroidered hats. Like if you had wares to hawk, you were in that building, giving your spiel in a live setting, selling to people, one to many. So
One of the best things about Funnel Hacking Live is that they bring in speakers from almost every industry.
mhm.
When you look at the speakers that they bring in, they're from all different industries, and what that's for is because no matter who you talk to, and you can show them, they're always going to say, "Oh, that's good for them, but that won't work for me." You have to literally show them that it's going to work for you. And I love it when Russell Brunson says, it gets people that ask them, but will this work for me? And he'll always say, well, I don't know. Does your business need leads and sales? Yeah, well then it works for you. And
Mhm.
it will basically work for any company except a dying company.
That's true. For the Bruce Wayne gig, I'm trying to grow this e-commerce side of the business with these safety signs. It's been a frustrating deal. I've been on it 3 months now, uh, and they're investing in the proper channels. Right, I'm working their SEO, running a little bit of paid ads, and installing the systems that I know based on the knowledge that I have over the past 4 years studying this stuff to generate the leads and give them what they want. Being a safety sign, what's the big thing in safety? It's called OSHA, right? I'm sure in your insurance world line, you've heard the term OSHA and OSHA recordable events and things like that. And so safety, OSHA, what do they need? They need a checklist to make sure that their area is OSHA compliant. So what do we create? Created a checklist, ran an ad to a landing page, simple opt-in, get the checklist, and then we continue to bombard them with emails. And it's slowly getting traction. We made a couple sales so far. We're not setting the world on fire yet. I know it's frustrating the boss that he's spending this money and it's not happening yet. But I told him, we're playing with big boys that have been in the business for years, right? We're babies, so it's just gonna take time, but it works. We've got 50 leads so far in 3 months to follow up with for them to purchase the safety signs when they need it. So we're not putting that much money behind it, but we're putting enough to get the traffic to get the signups.
And that's when you just get behind the wind and put your sail up, and you let Google and you let those search engines and that optimization just blow your sail, because you're in a sailboat, baby. You're not expending, you're not pulling that that motor and revving it up. That's the paid part. That's the engine that woo, because
Yep.
you're spending money on gas, but you're going, but you want to be able to turn that motor off, throw those sails up, and let the wind push you forward. And you're, huh?
I was gonna say, yeah, and it's crazy. It's like you can see the exact moment when I kind of took over in the marketing deal when it came to the SEO, because the amount of impressions that came up through search went from, like, we were literally flatlined, right, with a couple blips here and there, right, to a steady exponential uh, growth over the past 3 to 4 months. So
Yeah, yeah.
and the boss is like, yeah, that's great. where are the sales? I was like, they'll come. So there's still that know, like, and trust that has to be built up, and that need to buy the sign. And also, website probably isn't the best for conversion, but we'll deal with that. We'll fix it along the way. Just get the traffic, get people to know, like, and trust us, and we'll fix what's broken as
Yeah.
the ship's sailing.
That's when you really start to understand how difficult it is to get a visit.
Yeah, I mean, that's step one. Get the visit. Figure out how to sell them along the way. Monitor the site, figure out what pages they're going to, where the journey stops, and then you patch the leaks in the boat as you're sailing, right? So,
Yeah,
but you got to get the traffic to figure out what's wrong.
yeah, starting to get the traffic. And that's what live events can do for you as well, because not only you just charge them to get there, right? So
Mm-hmm.
you make money and then you can sell them. That's crazy, right?
Mm-hmm. But the thing is with the charge for the live event, so like the live event is your self liquidating offer. So you ideally want to be able to break even for the event. Like you break even, you win. That's like giving Google your money, putting your ad out there. Somebody comes to the page and they actually convert and buy. Like you at least want to break even on that first initial sale, right? And again, even for their first two sales, that $97 offer is a very low ticket offer. I know what's coming in the 3-day masterclass. They're going to hit you with some type of coaching high ticket deal
Oh
for
yeah.
tens of
Oh,
thousands of dollars. And that's
oh
where they're
yeah.
really going to make their money.
Oh yeah.
So when it
Oh
comes
yeah.
to structuring the offers of your business, nibbles, right? Give
Yeah.
them nibbles. And then you hit them with the big hook, with the
Yep.
big deal at
Hit
the
them
end.
with, hit them with nibbles, lead them to the big meal. Oh yeah. And like when you were talking about that $97 offer, I was like, yeah, there's going to be at least a 497 or a 997 on the back end of that on that. Oh yeah, on that.
It's
Yeah,
higher than that.
it is higher than that.
From the research I've done after the event, yeah, it's higher than that.
Yeah, yeah. And I was just thinking about it, just reminded me of that old school going to the hotel, and that's exactly what happened. You would get that little $100 deal there, but then once they got you in, that's when they started, you got the higher end offers on the back end. You
Mm-hmm.
could sign up for monthly coaching calls. I think it's just interesting to see how uh the whole genre has evolved over the years, and even how you mentioned that it was a worship service, and I'm like, that what kind of threw me, how you said this was a worship service, and it was like man, how creative are they getting, how creative are they getting?
Yep, they were niche down. They found their niche, their target audience, Christian entrepreneurs, and we're tugging at the heartstrings. When it came to their evangelical mission, because their mission behind everything is to give people the resources to then to be able to do good in the community and do as Jesus did and give and be able to give, even though Jesus didn't have any money. Um, in that
But
sense, right? But he was able to give back to the community. He fed 5,000 with 2 fish and 5 loaves of bread, and that's essentially what um,
so
Life
that
Surge wants to do.
so that's what their goal is, and then they also want to sell you how to trade stocks.
Yeah, well, they give you that knowledge to make the money in the stock market to then be able to give back and feed the 5,000. That's essentially their blueprint on their goals for you, right? But ultimately they want to sell you the picks and the shovels for the gold
Sounds
rush, right?
sounds like a wolf in sheep's clothing to me.
Hey, I mean, everything's a wolf in sheep's clothing, my man. There are good things and bad things between anything that you buy, anywhere that you buy. Someone's trying to sell you to better themselves, and with the guise of you bettering yourselves from buying it. Um, Everything in the world is a scam. But if you know what scam means, still confused about money, you understand that money is just the tool and means for an exchange. who wins in the exchange. Ideally, you both would like to win, but that's not how the world works. Just take everything with a grain of salt, do your research before you buy anything, and if it works for you, great. If it doesn't, then you learn something and you move on.
You know what? I think as long as you get something out of it, I don't think we can call it a scam. It's up to that person. If the money that you gave and you got what you were satisfied from the money that you gave, then yeah, okay, maybe it wasn't a scam.
I'm gonna get this damn fly before we end here. So, yeah.
And you have to be like Miyagi, get it with chop.
All right, the chopsticks. I don't got chopsticks.
Cool, cool. All right. So we are at the time limit. Thanks so much for sharing that with us, Brandon. And all of you out there, tell us in the comments what's been your experience with live events. Do you like them? Is it a thumbs up? Or are you one of those like, I would never go to a live event? For me, I would say live events are it's an experience that you would want to have at least once in your life. And I think that you can find the type of live event that you know you think you'd have interest in. Like for me, I don't know. I don't think I'm so much interested in stock market trading right now, but I might, consider something with, a little more about, they have these little real estate investment groups where they pool investors and you can have little investments and then you all pool to go in on bigger
Mm-hmm.
properties and things like that. I think,
Syndication.
yeah, I think that's something that I might be interested in. I don't know so much the stock market part, but I would definitely suggest attending a live event. What would you say?
100%. I mean, again, the networking aspect of it is worth the price of admission, because we're both of the same cloth in stating your network is your net worth.
Hmm.
And then when it comes to the information that's given to you from the stage, be it a lecture or whatever, is there an ultimate goal to get you to spend more money? Sure, but they do tend to teach a little bit in there that you can pick the nuggets up and potentially even run with it yourselves and figure out somehow some other way to do what they're telling you to do. But I mean, at the end of the day, it's the opportunity to meet somebody new and grow from there. So you asked earlier what my potential ROI on the event can be. If I do my due diligence and follow up with the people that I manage to speak with there, um, it would be 100x,
Mm.
100x win over the life of the relationship. So, um, yeah. So go to live events, create a live event.
Do it, do it. I just want to throw a shout out there to everyone watching. I know you guys miss us. I know they miss us, Brandon.
They missed us a couple weeks. Yeah.
Yeah. We will be on more regular, but thanks for watching us. Send us your comments. Check the link for the comments. Become a mental marketer insider. Inside of there, you'll get notified of Funnel Hacking Live, and sometimes you might even see me, on our trip. Maybe we will make it a big group, even larger group than last time. Definitely.
Yep.
But
And in the description of the video here, there is a link to get a free copy of this book here. This is the keystone to the live event right here, Expert Secrets, forward by Garrett J. White as the latest edition. Free plus shipping. It is an affiliate link. I earn a small commission. If you do buy it, it's a whole dollar. Okay.
yeah,
It's a whole dollar. That's it. Why are you asking I push it? Because I believe in this information enough to earn a buck off of it, right?
and
So
yeah, and if you don't have the book, you should have it anyway. And might as well just pay. What is it? $9.95.
$9.95 for the shipping. You could pay more by buying it from Amazon or Kindle, whatever. But get the book. Get all 3 of them.
Yeah, yeah, definitely must have. And
Must have.
also tune in next week.
Tune in next week. We will be here next week.
All right.
Promise. All right.
All right. See you. Till next time.
See you later.
All right. See ya. All right. Hold on. Oh man, you know what? Hold on. I'm